Hello, everyone. Welcome to the playoff of the Chessable Masters finals between Liren and Pragnanandhaa. Pragnanandhaa won day number 2 of the finals to force the playoff after that endgame masterpiece. But in the playoff, Pragnanandhaa missed his chances. He blundered his chances in game 1 and 2. Especially game 1, right, where he could have won in the end game. And in this decisive game, he also blundered. What a sorry news for the young Ken. But it only shows his experience by Ding, in playoff matches. He has played playoffs in the World Cup and some other matches. And that was important. You can see he never faltered here. Pragnanandhaa still lacked the experience, but this one is a big learning experience for the young Pragnanandhaa. One day he will take out the best, especially in the playoffs. Let's check this out. Again, the decisive game, Ding was white, 84. Knight of c4, e6, knight c3, bishop e4. We have the Nimzo Indian. e3 castles, bishop d2, 5 a3. Prag went back to e7, knight f3, b6. Okay, takes. c1, okay, lately queen c2 and bishop d3 has been played. Yeah, like the likes of rook e8, bishop into d3, and bishop f8. Then knight g5, g6, h4. This has been the trend lately. The Ding went for rook c1, okay, c5, takes, bishop d3, bishop g4, h3, bishop h5, and an interesting retreat by Ding and knight e2. All right, inviting Pragnanandhaa to take on f3 and compromise white's pawn structure. And Pragnanandhaa never hesitated. He went for it. Bishop takes f3, of course. Takes. Okay, white's plan here is bishop c3 and rook g1, pressure on g7. That's part of the reason why Pragnanandhaa went for knight bd7. He's trying to go for rook e8, knight f8, and knight g6 to protect the d7 pawn. But knight c6 much stronger here. If you play f4, for example, it's queen d7. And white cannot castle. Yes, if white decides to go for knight g3 here, rook b8, pressure on b2. And this is an issue for white now. How can he continue? If you go queen c2 to protect b2, okay, rook b6, and I'm sorry, rook to b6, and then rook fb8. That should be better here. Knight bd7, okay, not the best plan. Bishop c3, rook e8, also knight f8. Okay, that was the main point of his knight. Going to g6, blocking the g file. So knight g3, Ding missed an important detail here. Bishop b5 actually wins for white. Why? Okay, the knight cannot move back. The f6 knight can move back to d7. It's a free pawn on d5. So forcing Pragnanandhaa to go back to d7 with the knight on f8, but now takes on f6. And the queen takes d5. Attacking d7, getting a free pawn, and c5 is going to be weak. That's also a target after bishop takes d7, and this is winning for white. Ding went for knight g3. Okay, understandable in blitz. The one who makes the last mistake loses in faster time controls. And mistakes happen. You just have to limit, or maybe don't create a big blunder. You make mistakes, but not the big ones. Knight f5, bishop f8, bishop to b1, d4, active play by Pragnanandhaa, sacrificing his pawn, takes, sacrificing another pawn on c5, right? Because Liren's king is very dangerous now. It's so vulnerable from Black's threats. Knight f4 is coming up. King h2, took d8. And Ding did not even blink here. He found the only move to defend. Queen a4, shifting to g4. Pragnanandhaa played knight df4, through g1, protecting g2 mate. Now protecting f3 and h3. Nice move. Okay, there's a double attack on the two rooks. Ding went for rook g1, Pragnanandhaa knight takes g3. Okay, an interesting take here would have been knight takes c3 instead of capturing the exchange. Why? Because after take, then you can activate the bishop and you ease that pressure on the g7 pawn. Because the bishop in c3 was attacking g7, so you're going to move the bishop on f8. But with this one, you have an active bishop attacking f2, right? And if, let's say, rook f1, you can activate a rook with rook e5. And where is the knight going? This should be better for Black also. Pragnanandhaa went for the rook, takes rook e2, but Ding was so precise in defending here. Starts with bishop e4, rook to d2, now bishop e3, and the winning move by Ding, rook g5. Oh, wow, he found this one, yeah. But even with less time. That's why he's world number 2. And that's why he's in the candidates. He's worthy of that spot. Bishop e4, queen d1, takes in d1, takes d1, but the pass pawn. Plus the two bishops. Rook c8, takes an a7. Now it's 3 connected pawns, A, B, and C. How to stop? f6, rook g1, d2, b4. The pawns will continue to roll. b5, unstoppable. g6, move back to e3. Pragnanandhaa blundered for the last time, although the position is already hopeless. Bishop takes to 2, 5, threatening mate on g8. Bishop d6 king h1 or f4 also possible. It's also possible to just go king h1 here. So f4, knight into d3. Final. Takes king h1. Another pawn, my god. 3 pawn mess. Pawn phalanx. a5. Ooh, a lot. Headache. 1. a7. Pragnanandhaa had enough. Ding wins the Chessable Masters. His first win in the Meltwater Champions Tour online. This is also a big confidence boost for Ding Liren's quest in the candidates. But also a sorry miss for the young Pragnanandhaa. He had his chances. Now, if you take a look at game number 1, this was the position in game number 1. Pragnanandhaa was white. He was 1 pawn up. He has a pass pawn. But he blundered with a7, yes, and he missed this check and rook a4. Pragnanandhaa could have easily won the game here by playing knight c6 instead of that a7 push. Again, with the a7 push, Ding had rook b4 and rook a4, right? He could have just played knight c6 here, check first, king d6, a7. The rook cannot check on b4 because of the knight. The knight takes away 2 important squares, b4 and a5, yes? Then if you take the pawn, this is a simple piece, yeah? And the knight won't be trapped because there's knight c6 back, if rook a4, knight back to b4. Extra piece, win. And probably winning the tournament for the young Phenom. What a sorry miss for Pragnanandhaa. This was the first game. Even in the second game, he had his chances. He had his chances. So the future is so bright with this young boy. But mistakes happen. You just have to move on, right? He's still very young. Okay, don't let this loss bother him in the long run. Just forget about this one. Move on to the next tournament. The important thing here is that the experience of playing and beating top players like Magnus and Ding Liren So that means Pragnanandhaa now, shall we call him an elite? Just not, yeah, we can call him an elite at an early age of 16. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting our channel, Charles Max Chess and Charles Max Entertainment on Facebook and YouTube. This is Coach Order. Stay safe, everyone.